NRM, we made a resolution that every first Friday of the month we shall be caucusing and meeting. The last caucus we had issues that arose from the judgment of the Supreme Court. We also put questions across. So we tasked the Attorney General to bring back the UPDF Act, which was already before the committee that I sit in, which is the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs. So as we agreed as members of the NRM, that let us have to go and understand what these amendments mean to the Uganda, in line with the Supreme Court ruling. I want to assure Ugandans that there is no court on this earth that is above the Supreme Court. And the NRM government is committed to protect and defend the Constitution. And that's the oath we make as members of Parliament. So I would like to allay the fears of our colleagues that we are all members of Parliament and we make laws that benefit this country. The UPDF Amendment Act is really something that we need to do in recommendation with the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court guided. As legislators, that's what we are going to do. And what people should understand, that the NRM Parliamentary Caucus is not Parliament. This is just a meeting of the NRM members of Parliament, that when we come to the floor of Parliament, we shall have a common view. So our members in the opposition, I know it's political period, they would want to politicize this amendment, but this is for the good of this country. Be sure and be safe that the NRM members of Parliament are sober and they are committed to protect and defend the Constitution of this country.
And these NRM idiots, I want to warn them, like Muhoz called them. Amama Mbabazi wanted me to be taken to the disciplinary committee when they were suspending rules to enact the Public Order Management Act. He was the first to be tried under that law. You remember when they stopped him in Jinja, Red Kawes arresting him, the former Prime Minister, former Secretary General of NRM. The same thing that happened to Grace Wingira when he processed here the Detention Without Trial Act. And he was the first to be put in prison without trial. You stay there, they don't try you.
It is not NRM in particular, but we are just going to enact what the Supreme Court proposed so that we make an amendment in the UPDF Act, because the Supreme Court came up with guidance that the court-martial should be fair, should carry out fair trials, it should be presided over by judges, not army men or army people that are just put there by the commander-in-chief, but it should be presided over by judges who are appointed by the Judicial Commission. So as the NRM caucus and as the president is going to talk to NRM MPs to see that we make an amendment in the UPDF Act, because the UPDF Act, the provisions in the UPDF Act do not provide for the inaction of what the Supreme Court suggested.
So these NRM idiots who are going to Entebbe today, it is entirely up to them. They can enact that law, but one by one, who falls out of favor, they will find themselves being tried under the same law. But we will be here to fight it, because I have, from my knowledge, Obua, the government whip, has sent a message to all committee chairpersons instructing all NRM MPs who are out of the country to return, whether they are on parliamentary work or what. And they said they are going to reissue fresh tickets after, because their plan is to have this law passed on Tuesday. They want to suspend all the rules of Parliament, bring military here, beat MPs, and in the evening, Museveni assents to the bill, and the following day, Wednesday, they take back Besigye to the military court, now under a new law that Parliament will have. So that's their trip.
Of course, as the caucus, we've been invited to go and look through issues of the UPDF Amendment Act and the budget for this year. And we have to go with an open mind. Of course, the UPDF Act was due for amendment. There are many proposals that had been pushed even when I was chairing the committee. But with the new developments, definitely we need to go with a clear head, mind, and think through that the legislation we are undertaking, we don't legislate for the current situation, we legislate for the future, we legislate for generations, we legislate for Ugandans, we legislate for everybody. So as members of Parliament, I think we need to be critical in terms of what they are going to present to us, because they have not yet presented us. So for us, actually, we are open. We are open to receiving those ideas and make an analysis of what they are bringing to the table.
And that's why Speaker suspended Parliament on Wednesday. Because abruptly, as we were coming, Parliament is suspended. I have been told that she went to meet Museveni, and they did the plot together, the Speaker and Museveni, of how they bring here a new law to re-establish the General Court Martial and have Besigye charged afresh on Wednesday, and maybe in 2 days he'll have been convicted and then they can hang him.